Malone. I'm a graduate student here at Alabama A&M University, and we're here today to get some insight on leadership, different styles, approaches to leadership. I'm here today with the 11th president of Alabama Agricultural and Mechanical University, the illustrious Dr. Andrew Hugine Jr. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Malone. Thank you so very much for the opportunity of sharing with you this morning.
Thank you. Now, you served in leadership for many years. You've been recognized nationally and internationally for your leadership ability and your administrative skills. What do you consider your brand or style of leadership to be?
I'm not sure that it necessarily falls into a particular category. I think I would look at it as being transformative. I try to lead by examples. I try to incorporate the golden rule in what I do from the standpoint of being sure that I'm treating people the way I want to be treated. Try to articulate a vision and be sure that we get some buy-in for that vision so that people understand what it is we're trying to accomplish. It's really hard to get people to rally around a cause and to know what the cause is. And so I think it's very, very important that there be a vision articulated there so that everyone understands what the vision happens to be. And also in terms of priorities, people have to understand what the priorities are. So as my leadership style is to articulate that vision, try to list what the priorities are, be sure you're treating people correctly, because at the end of the day, it is the individuals that really make a difference in the organization. And so the old adage, you really can't lead where people aren't willing to follow, kind of sums up, I think, the administrative philosophy that I have.
Okay, very good. You bring up it's hard to lead people where they're not willing to follow. So of course, like anything else, there's always challenges in the leadership roles. What special leadership challenges do you think have kind of persisted through the years that you've kind of come across, and how have you addressed those?
Well, my work has primarily been in historically black colleges and universities, and our institutions are challenged financially. We are limited resource institutions. We take on a mission that other institutions in the scheme of things do not, and that mission is to really provide access and opportunity. We serve a clientele that have limited resources, and then that tends to permeate and find itself in everything that we do. We can't really charge what is necessary and appropriate to provide the services, but yet we are expected to provide the same quality of service. A student coming to Alabama A&M University, they expect the same kind of housing they would have even if they were going to Alabama. So how do you do that? How do you provide those same quality programs, but yet you do it on what I call a shoestring budget? So that's been the basic challenge that we've had at institutions. And Alabama A&M University is not unlike other HBCUs. So the major challenge over the years has been one of trying to get those resources. We've had to be very creative in how we've approached that. One of the things we did recently was this refinancing of existing debt that we had on the book. And that was creative because we could effect some cost savings. Just like in your personal life, when the interest rates go down, you go in and you refinance. So basically we refinanced the debt the university had. That allowed us to free up some money. Now, you could, quote, take that money and put it in the bank, or in our case, we took that to leverage the ability to build a new residence hall. So we kind of invest in those dollars so that we can continue to build infrastructure at the university. But that's been the basic challenge.
Okay. And getting people, leading people to buy into the vision that you have as a leader at the university, taking the direction of the university to a new level. Has that always been something that...
It's not easy because vision also calls for change, and as people, we don't like change. As I reflect often to many of the changes that have occurred since I arrived here, they weren't always embraced. But as a leader, it is necessary for you to do what is best for the organization in the end, not the individual, because organizations exist beyond individuals. Individuals come and individuals go. Presidents come, presidents go. The piece that is the constant in all of this is the institution, in this case Alabama A&M. So you always have to ask the question, what is best for Alabama A&M? Not what's best for the president, not what's best for the individual, what is best for the university. And as long as you keep that as the focus that you're making your decisions on, while they are hard, they are necessary decisions. And so people don't always embrace them at the time, but they then become to realize that, well, that's what we have to do in order for the survival of the institution.
Well, in closing, I just want to ask you this one last little tidbit. You've been in leadership for a long time. Looking back on the years, what words of wisdom would you have given to your younger self, just starting off in leadership?
That's a real difficult question, because what happens is, after you've gone through something, you have a whole different perspective than when you are facing it at the beginning. I would again say to people, not to my young self, not to be frightened of change, not to be hesitant about trying something different to see whether or not it would in fact work. Because if you don't take risk, you're not going to be able to succeed. And so I would say that. I think all of the experiences I've had, beginning with that of a high school math teacher up through presidency, I've learned something from all of those experiences, and those experiences really made a difference. I would not have eliminated any of those, the good, the bad, those experiences that were a little painful, but there were lessons learned in all of them. And so I would say to myself again, be willing to take risk, be willing to champion what needs to happen, and not be so concerned necessarily about how it might be perceived, as long as it is the right thing to do and you're doing it for the right reason. But that's always important. As long as you're not doing it from the standpoint of being a vindictive or something, but as long as you're doing it for the good of the organization, that's what's important.
Well, thank you so much for your wonderful insights on leadership, and I really appreciate it.
And very best of luck to you.
All right, thank you.
Very good.